What's up guys, it's the Utopian Wanderer here, and boy am I excited for this video because as you can maybe see, I finally have an office. A studio slash office. It's not exactly a studio, even though that's where I'm making the videos like this one, but it's not quite entirely set up to be a studio. But it doesn't matter to me because this is finally an office for me, a place where I can create, and a place that I make according to my personality. I mean, you can pretty much tell there's like cameras up there, there's board games, there's Dragon Ball here, right there, Dragon Ball. That's all my childhood, I swear. I'm super happy, I'm super ecstatic of having finally an office to be able to create and to be able to work. And if you followed one of my latest videos, the one where I've been traveling from São Paulo to here, you will know that here is Porto in Portugal. The new city, the new place where G and I will be settling. Unfortunately, G is still not here because of the current situation with the coronavirus. It's still a bit complicated, but fingers crossed sooner rather than later she's gonna be here so that we can share all of this together and have a more relaxed life as a result. I might actually do a video at some point explaining all of that stuff that's sitting right behind me. You'll notice I'm kind of rotating a bit because I'm on the bar stool. The stool you sit on, all right, not the other kind of stool, no. Those things are amazing, but they give you sometimes a little bit too much freedom. So I have to control myself whenever I'm recording so that I stay focused on you guys, basically, and not doing things like this. But anyway, this is not the point of the video. That'll be the point of a future video. The point of this video, if you followed another one of my latest videos, the one where I'm training, or at least I try to train, you would know that I hate tourists. But don't go all up in arms because I don't hate all tourists, all forms of tourism. The point that I want to make is very simple. While I was traveling across South America for about a year and a half almost, I came across a lot of people. The vast majority of them, amazing people, really open to the culture, to the country they were in, really engaging with the locals, and very curious to the things that were happening around them. But I also came across the exact opposite. People who just couldn't care less about that. People were self-centered, really focused on themselves, and not so much on the world, that was on the things that were happening around them. There's no rule against traveling that way. You don't have to engage with the culture and so on and so on. If that's how you want to travel, you do you. That's fine. But at the same time, I can't help but think it's so much of a missed opportunity being in a foreign country and not taking a step off the beaten path to try and understand different things, different cultures, different people altogether. And the reason I'm making this video is actually, it's very specific, because during my trip in South America, there was one point in time where I was actually with a group of people, and we are in a region that's not an urban region. It was really off the beaten path. It was very rough, and we were pretty much sleeping in a different place every single night. Here's the thing, the first day, we got along really well. Very friendly people, all good, there were no issues whatsoever. But here's the thing, during that first day, towards the end of that first day, I started to realize that they were spending, while I was talking with the locals and trying to get more information, trying to understand the local culture and the places we were in, because they were very, very interesting places. I want to understand the history behind those places. Here's the thing, these people were spending, all right, let's say 90% of their time Instagramming, taking the best shot multiple times, editing, scheduling on the Instagram, counting the followers and the likes. And I was doing that kind of stuff as well, but nowhere near to that extent. Maybe that's why I only have 1,000 followers. Because I was much more focused on trying to understand the culture, trying to talk with the locals, not so much about social medias. And that's fine, like I said, if that's how you want to travel, all good. But where I'm going to be drawing the line is at some point, one of those people talking about the culture we were in and we were experiencing. That person said, "Oh, don't call this a rich culture." That's where I draw the line. You see what I mean? You don't have to like all the cultures you come across. I personally have cultures that I'm much more attracted to than others. But this right there, that sentence that person pronounced, that is disrespectful. Nobody has the authority or the credentials, especially not someone who's spending 19% of their time on Instagram. These people don't have the credentials to actually say if a culture is rich or not. They don't. Maybe others who have been studying cultures and foreign cultures for decades, they might have something to say about that. But even then, I'm not sure saying it's rich or it's not rich is the right word to use. But in the case of that person, that was disrespectful. It was someone being so entitled, thinking that because they come in as a tourist and they're dropping money, they're spending money in the local economy, that they can make that kind of comment, that they think they're above the locals. They're not. The only thing spending money entitles you to is to actually experience the things you paid for. That's it. It doesn't give you the right to discriminate against a culture, to disrespect a culture just because you don't like it. You don't have to like it, but just be respectful of it, because it's unfair to the locals. It's false, most importantly. It just gives such a bad image of tourism. And that's where I actually make the difference between what I would call adventurers, explorers, wanderers, and tourists who are just in for themselves, for their own benefit. And in these times of Instagramming, YouTubing, social media with ing at the end, it's really easy to see where the inspiration comes from. Like myself, the number of accounts that I'm following on Instagram, I see a lot of them, especially travel accounts. It's all about amazing shots of amazing landscapes, presenting the person who's traveling in front of that landscape. And when I try to read a lot of those descriptions of those pictures, it doesn't say anything about the local culture, about the people, about the country they're in. Just that's the location tag right at the top, but that's it. Like I said, there's nothing wrong against traveling that way if that's what you want to do. I just feel it's such a big missed opportunity. And in the case of those Instagrammers, it's also presenting a glamorized image of a country, of a place, that more often than not excludes the actual culture and the people living in that place. And it's sad, because you wouldn't be there, you wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the people around who are making this possible, who are maintaining those places, so you can go in and take those pictures. So I think the least we could do when we travel is to give a little back, get interested in these people, in that culture, in that country. I keep repeating that because I believe it's a really important message that I believe has been lost lately. So it's up to us, especially those like me who have a huge platform, YouTube, Instagram. I may not be big, I'm far from being big, but I know the chance that I have of being able to travel as much as I did and being able to do all the things that I did, so that I can present that to you and maybe give you the incentive to do the same thing as well. Instead of just going from one postcard image to another postcard image, to do something else in between. Some of the best memories that I've had are not when I'm taking the pictures. It's actually when I'm talking with people. It's what ultimately is gonna make your trip unique. By you stepping off the beaten path and doing something that most people don't do, that's how you turn your trip into a unique experience. And trust me, it's when the trip becomes a unique experience that you want to share it, that it becomes interesting. Not when you're just presenting the same pictures that hundreds, thousands of people have already presented. So there you go. To resume, simply in just one sentence, whether you're already traveling or planning a trip, you lucky bastard. I encourage you, I invite you to step, like I said, off the beaten path and engage with local people. Get interested in the culture, get interested in the country you are in or going to be in, because ultimately this is the essence of traveling itself. It's being in awe, in wonder of something that is so different from what we experience daily. And traveling is the best thing that you can do to achieve that. So really, I urge you to do that, and you'll thank me for it. I swear, you will thank me for it. So there you go, guys. That's the end of this rant. if I can call it like that. That was Utopian Wanderer. Stay safe, and I'll see you later. Signing off.